When it comes to building a culture of warfighting excellence, it's our people that are the foundational strength of our department, and they provide us competitive warfighting advantage over our adversaries. Our priority of building a culture of warfighting excellence is founded on a strong leadership that is rooted in treating each other with dignity and respect, creating an environment in which our sailors and Marines can realize their inherent potential. Building a culture of warfighting excellence crucially encompasses learning the past and righting historic wrongs as well too. Last month, I had the opportunity and obligation to correct a historic injustice and place the Department of the Navy on the right side of history. I can't tell you how proud I am that we did this. Port Chicago Naval Magazine, approximately 25 miles from San Francisco, served a critical role in supporting combat operations in the Pacific Theater. On the evening of July 17, 1944, munitions being loaded onto the SS E.A. Bryan detonated, killing 320 sailors, Coast Guard men, civilians, and others, and injuring an additional 390 individuals, both service members and civilians. Over 200 of these fallen heroes were African-American sailors, many of their bodies torn to pieces because of the explosion itself. 258 surviving sailors traumatized by the blast, unsafe working conditions, lack of training, and fearful for their own very lives, were charged with refusing to continue loading munitions under said conditions. After officials threatened these sailors with disciplinary action, 208 of the sailors returned to work. The remaining 50 sailors continued to refuse to return to work and were charged with mutiny. This act was known as the Port Chicago Mutiny, and the 50 sailors were known as the Port Chicago 50. While every sailor serving at the Port Chicago Naval Magazine had chosen to serve, the subsequent general and summary court-martials labeled those 258 sailors as criminals. Upon the comprehensive review of these court-martials and advice of the General Counsel, I made the decision inherent within my authorities as Secretary of the Navy, dating to the laws of the time, to set aside the court-martials of all 258 sailors convicted as part of the Port Chicago incident. This decision clears their names, restores their honor, and acknowledges the courage that they displayed in the face of immense danger and injustice. While long overdue, this is the justice that these sailors, our people, our shipmates, deserve. Our sailors and Marines must always come first.